I just want to thank you for joining our webinar today, and thank you for your continued support of KYACC. We're really excited about showing you around the virtual exhibit hall today, and we're going to show you how you can chat with your attendees in your virtual booth. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ilsa Daner. I'm the events manager here at KYACC. And hosting this webinar with me is our VP of Creative Services, Chris Walls. Chris has been really busy behind the scenes creating this amazing virtual environment for us. So if you guys have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to use the chat box. I'll be monitoring it throughout the webinar. And at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Chris.
Thanks, Ilsa. So we're going to go through a few slides here, is giving some details on the format of how the exhibit hall will work during the KYACC conference, and then we're going to do a live demo of the exhibit hall and the chat and video chat features. So just to begin with, you'll find the event URL is kentuckyacc2020.vfairs.com, and we'll be going there shortly. The exhibit hall is open Friday, September 11th and Saturday, September 12th from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And after the 2 live days are completed, we'll have the vFairs conference area, including the exhibit hall, open to any attendees that want to attend 30 days after the conclusion of the meeting. And of course, all the exhibit booths will not be manned at that point, but any resources you have or videos that you've posted to your booths will still be accessible to the attendees. So there are 2 different types of user accounts on the platform, and really the only difference between the 2 is that you have attendee accounts that can visit the exhibit hall, view sessions, etc. The exhibitor accounts can do all of that as well. The only difference is they cannot chat with other exhibit booth reps. So you can participate in your own chat room, and each booth has its own chat area, but you just can't initiate a chat with another exhibitor. If you have multiple booth reps at the same booth, you can both be logged in at the same time and chatting with attendees at the same time. And highly recommend you upload a photo of yourself to the chat room profile, just to make the experience a little more engaging for everyone. And I'll show you how to do this when we go to the live demo, but when you go to the chat room, you'll see there's a box at the top right. And if you click on it, you'll see the update profile picture. It's pretty simple. So this is an example of a booth in the exhibit hall. This is the one we're going to be using today during our demo. It's a demo booth. And we'll go there shortly. First, let me explain the 2 types of chat options that you have. So each booth, as I said, has its own chat room. The first, basically, if someone comes into your exhibit booth and clicks the chat button, they're going to be taken to this screen, which is a group chat area. It is not private, so all attendees can see the chat conversations going on here. And then the other type of chat would be the private chat. So once you're in the group chat, you can initiate a private chat with an attendee or vice versa by clicking on their name. And you'll know when someone has initiated a private chat by, you'll see a number as in the screenshot here next to your name, and you should also hear a beep. So I recommend leaving your computer speakers on throughout the day. So once you're in private chat, the exhibitor rep can initiate a video chat with an attendee, but not the other way around. So only the exhibitors can initiate the video chat, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. Highly recommend having a good microphone for this. I'm using a headset mic, and I think it works pretty well. The built-in computer mic will probably be okay, but I would recommend getting something a little better if you have access to one. The Chrome web browser seems to work the best. I think Edge and Firefox, you should have no issues. I would not recommend using Internet Explorer when accessing the vFairs platform. And we did have some experience with a Mac user where Safari had some strict restrictions on their camera usage, and they had to go into their settings to change that. So that would be something I recommend, is testing out your camera before the event date. Oh yeah, so this is a screenshot of how to initiate a video chat, which I'll show you live here in a second. Basically, you have these icons here. This is an audio chat, and this camera would be a video chat. So that's all the background information at this point. So I'm gonna turn my Zoom video off because we're gonna be going into the BFair's video shortly, and well, actually right now. So let me do that, and just give me 1 second while I change my screen share. Okay, so hopefully everyone is seeing the login page for the Kentucky ACC 2020 conference page. Ilse, can you confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to log in, and I should say that, well, this is close to being completed. There are a few details in here that are not done yet, such as the lobby. So it will look a little different next week. We're not going to watch the introductory video just now. This lobby will be animated, so everyone you see will be moving around. I'll give you a brief run through of the different areas of the virtual space. This is the lobby, and the best way to navigate through everything would probably be the top menu. The auditorium is where the live sessions are going to be held. The exhibit hall, of course, you would know. The lounge is an attendee networking area that everyone who is an attendee can go visit the lounge and interact with each other. Information desk would be if you have any technical, you need some technical assistance. The leaderboard is a contest we're having with the attendees where if they get points based on what type of interactions they have on the platform, such as visiting a booth, initiating a chat, downloading a resource from a booth, and we have prizes to give away to the top 3 participants. The swag bag is something every attendee has, and they can, when they visit a booth, if they see a PDF or other resource that they want to keep, they can right click. There's a button next to each one that says add to my bag. And then once you have those items added, you can later download them or email them to yourself or to others, etc. And finally, Video Vault is a collection of any videos that have been uploaded to the exhibit hall. So let's go ahead and go to the exhibit hall, and you'll see I think all the booths are built at this point, but we're going to focus on this demo booth for today. And I haven't put too much information in here. Basically, it's just here so that we can demonstrate the chat feature. You probably have other resources that you've uploaded that you'll see here where the chat is, but for the purposes of this, we just have just chat. So I am logged in as an exhibitor rep, and Ilse is logged in as an attendee. So I'm going to, since she's already, I think you're already in the chat room, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm an exhibitor, and I see that Ilse is in the chat room here, but I see her under online users. But before I send her a private message, and I'm going to just send her a message in the group chat, you'll see this past conversation history. This is just from us testing out the platform. So, and once again, this area here is visible to anyone, any attendee can see this. This is the public chat for this particular booth.
I'm responding right now.
Okay. Okay, so she's asked me if I'd like to do a private chat. So I'm going to go next to her name and click chat now. And now, and once again, this is from a previous test we were doing. We are now in private chat. You can see her name is up here. So only her and myself can read this chat. So I'm going to ask her if she'd like to participate in a video chat. And assuming she's going to say yes, I'm going to go ahead and just initiate that now. So as I said before, you have these icons up here. This would be an audio call, and this would be for video chat. So, and when we go into video chat, you're going to see me mute the audio, and that's only because we're doing this via Zoom, and it gets a little echoey if we don't do that. But
And
normally,
that's the only reason we had to turn our cameras off momentarily, just because it won't allow us to be in Zoom and on BFairs at the same time with the cameras.
So right, so normally once you initiate the video chat, you don't want to turn the audio off, but we're going to do it this time.
Hello.
Hi.
It should just take a second for us to load up, and there we are. Okay,
so you can see we're both here in the platform, and this is a private video chat that only we can see. These are not recorded, FYI. So basically, it's pretty simple. You can go to full screen. That's hang up, and that's mute audio. I'm not sure if there's anything you would add here. As I said, it's pretty
Nope.
straightforward, this video chat feature.
Yeah, just to iterate one more time, only exhibitors can initiate the video chat with attendees, not the other way around.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna
Right.
hang this up and go back to Zoom. I'll go back to share my, whoops.
Chris,
we actually
had a question come through, a couple of them. If you're in a private chat, can someone initiate conversation in the not private chat area?
Yes. Yeah, you could have both open. You can actually have several tabs open.
This is a good question from Ryan. Is there an ability to pull up a brochure from the booth during a video chat to discuss a study?
Well, unfortunately, that video chat in vFairs doesn't have any sort of screen sharing capability.
Okay.
You could probably you could copy the URL into the text chat and share it that way. But nothing like Zoom where you can share your screen on the fly or anything like that.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Will the attendees be trained as well?
Yeah, we're gonna put a recording together for attendees and distribute that in the next week. We're gonna be sending out all of their login information to them probably by Monday of next week, and give them information on how to go, the various features of the platform and how to chat with exhibitors and other attendees.
Right. We have a question from Rebecca. Yes, I will absolutely. As soon as we wrap up this webinar, I will send the slide deck out to all of you via email.
And this recording will be posted and distributed by this afternoon.
Great.
As well.
We have a couple more questions for you. Is the chat the only way to start a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, in the chat room itself, if you wanted to do a video call, which isn't technically a Zoom meeting, it's not using Zoom per se, but that would be the only area to do that.
Okay, and the next one we have one from Stephanie. So only attendees can initiate the video chat. And actually, no, it's the other way around. Yeah, only exhibitors could initiate the video chat. And it makes sense because if there's exhibitors and several people in the booth, we need to make sure that you guys are free to be able to do that chat. Okay, let's see. Can the chat / text feature be turned off, but still participants in video calls?
Unfortunately, I think you can have the chat disabled, but you'll lose the other features of the chat room, such as the video
That's what calls. I thought too. It's all or nothing, I'm afraid, on the chat features. We have a question of
let me go back and say you could, each booth, you do have an area where you can type in a description or hours that you intend to be manning the booth. You could put a note in there to say we will only be participating in video chat. And
that's a good point.
Just not respond to any of the text chats, or just send a default like, sorry, we are only doing video chat, something like that.
Okay. We have one question about what platform this is. It's called vFairs, VFAIRS. And we also have another great question about how do exhibitors log on to access their booth. And on that very first slide, Chris gives you the URL, which you can see up in the top window, KYACC2020.bfairs.com. And actually, I'll let Chris tell you, I believe it's open now where they can sign and they can log in using the information for the booth reps while building their booths, and they can start playing around with it right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, you should be able to log in. You won't be able to do much other than really go to the exhibit hall and view your booth. You can view other booths if you like. None of the sessions are going to be obviously accessible yet, or any of the other features. But if you just want to see what your exhibit booth looks like, if you set up your own account in vFairs when you were building your booth, you should already have that login information. So feel free to take a look
And
at
you
it.
should be able to play around with it if you have two booth reps, you know, two people from your organization in the booth at the same time. You should be able to play around with the chat features yourself after this presentation. All right, we have another one. When in the video call, can you see who else comes into the booth, or is there a notification when someone comes into the booth?
You will see a notification if someone sends you a chat request wherever you know, if you have the chat room open. I would recommend keeping the group chat area open just so you can see if anyone else comes in to the group chat and types a comment. Yeah, I think if you were to get a chat during a video call, you would still see like a number next to your name that you received a new message.
Absolutely, because it pulls up on a totally another screen. Okay, just a few more here. How do we set up only video calls?
As we said before, we can turn the entire chat room off for your booth, but it sounds like you don't want that. You can basically, you would have to have your chat up and running, but just not responding to any chats, or you can always respond to the chat request with, sorry, we are only able to do video chat at this time. But there isn't a way to turn off just the text chat.
Just the text chat,
Yeah.
or if you didn't man the booth, you could always leave an email address or a phone number at the company description as well, where someone could reach you if you wanted to talk to them that way. One more. Can you log into the booth with multiple devices, like if you're waiting on an attendee and need to leave the desk?
Yes. Yeah, I've logged into it with 2 different computers before. So
great. All right, I think that's all the questions we have right now.
Okay, I'll put through our contact info, and you already have Ilsa's contact information. But if you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. This recording will be online this afternoon, and look forward to seeing everyone next week at the conference.
Great, and I'll email this to you as soon as we wrap up. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody.